I'm Sherry Logan, Con Ed's SmartCharge New York Program Manager. As you can see, we have a full agenda tonight. I'd like to begin by introducing you to two important people that support the SmartCharge New York program. Our Con Edison Assistant SmartCharge Program Manager.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Klarman, and thank you for joining us tonight.
And I'd like to also introduce you to our GeoTab SmartCharge New York Program Manager, Kevin. GeoTab is Con Edison's program partner.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, so I'd like to start by giving you a little bit of an overview of Con Edison. I would imagine while most of you probably live in New York City or Westchester County and are Con Ed customers, some of you might live upstate or on Long Island. So Con Edison is an investor-owned utility. We provide electric, gas, and steam services to the 10 million people who reside in the 5 boroughs of New York City and Westchester. That's our service territory. There are parts of Westchester, northern Westchester, and parts of Queens that are outside of our service territory, but by and large, it's the 5 boroughs of New York City and Westchester. We operate one of the largest and most complex and reliable electric distribution systems in the world, serving 3.4 million electric customers. And I could say our claim to fame as far as electric vehicles are concerned, out of all the electric utilities in New York State, Con Edison has the largest number of registered electric vehicles. I just checked the state's dashboard, and as of October 1st, we have over 25,000 electric vehicles registered in our service territory. So that's a huge achievement. So SmartCharge New York is Con Edison's electric vehicle off-peak charging incentive program. The objective of the program is to incentivize EV owners to charge in our service territory during what we call off-peak hours. That's defined as midnight to 8 a.m. And these are times of the day when demand for electricity is the lowest. So the idea is that charging off-peak helps reduce stress on our grid, making service more reliable for everyone, all our customers. So to be eligible to participate in the program, all you need to do is be an EV owner who charges regularly in our service territory, New York City and Westchester, at least once a month. But that's pretty much that's all you have to do. You don't have to be a Con Edison customer, an account holder, and that's one of the things that makes this program unique. You could actually live in New Jersey or Connecticut and come into work in the city every day and charge, and that qualifies you to participate in the program. The other thing that makes this program very unique is that the incentives are paid out off the bill. You get cash rewards for charging off-peak, not a credit on your Con Ed electric bill, but actually cash. And the other thing that makes this program unique is that you could charge anywhere with any type of charger, as long as it's in the service territory. So you could have a home charger, you could do all your charging at work, or you could even charge at a Tesla supercharger, and you will earn unlimited cash rewards for charging in our service territory. So with that, I'd like to pass it off to Kevin, and he's going to give you a little bit of background on the SmartCharge program.
Sure. So just a very, very brief history lesson. The SmartCharge New York program was launched in April of 2017 as a partnership between Con Edison and a company called Fleet Karma. And Fleet Karma provided the telematics technology through a tiny device called a C2 device that people plugged into their car, and it would beam charging data to the cloud where Con Edison could use it to calculate rewards. In 2018, Fleet Karma was acquired by Geotab, and Geotab is the world's largest telematics company. We have millions of vehicles that we're collecting data for all across the world. Most of those vehicles are in big fleets. So we help fleets to manage their operations more efficiently. But we also have several of these programs with electric utilities to help them manage charging on their grid. As part of the transition from Fleet Karma to Geotab, we are phasing out the old C2 telematics devices in favor of Go devices, which is a Geotab telematics device. And we're leaning more and more on connections to telematics that are embedded in the vehicles themselves. So telematics solutions where we're connecting to the vehicle manufacturers' data that they are sending to the cloud. Our first and most important vehicle manufacturer that we work with in that way is Tesla. The reason why that's the most important, as you see that from that pie chart, 70% of the vehicles that are in the SmartCharge New York program are Tesla vehicles. They're completely dominant in electric vehicles, and especially in the New York region. But that's the majority of our participants, and we're happy to say that the majority of our participants can now participate in SmartCharge New York without the need to install a separate telematics device. We can collect the data directly from your vehicle through your myTesla account. We're just some quick stats there. We're up. That number is even a little bit out of date. I would say we're up over 3,600 active participating vehicles, and we're receiving several hundred Tesla applicants a month, growing very largely, especially with test vehicles. So what data do we collect? The data that we collect through the Tesla's API is basically where, when, and how much you're charging. We collect the amount of kilowatt hours that is entering your battery. We collect the GPS coordinates of your charge session so we can tell whether it's in Con Ed service territory. And we collect the time of your charging so we can tell whether you're doing it on peak or off peak times according to Con Ed's reward system. We also collect basic information about your vehicle, like the vehicle identification number, the make, model, and year. We collect driving information. This is not used to calculate rewards. It's really just for your information. So you can look up through your portal, the start and end time of the trips that you take, the distance that you've traveled, the start and end state of charge of your battery over those trips. An important point here is while Tesla's API through your Tesla account does send us GPS information while you're driving, we never store that information, nor do we share it with Con Edison. So if you're worried about privacy issues, Con Edison knowing the exact routes that you're taking, they will not. They will know the GPS location for your charge sessions, not for your driving. How would you get started in the program? The first thing you would do is go to smartchargerewards.com/SCNY. And you look for this field where you enter in your zip code, the zip code where you do your charging. To underscore Sherry's point from before, this is not your home address. It's perfectly fine if your home address is outside of Con Edison service territory. What you want to do here is enter a zip code within Con Ed service territory where you do the majority of your car charging. And assuming that zip code is within Con Ed service territory, you'll be taken to an application form where you fill in, your name, email address. You can peruse our terms and conditions and tell us the makes and models of the vehicles you want to connect. Hit apply. It's assuming we support your vehicle model, and we support all Tesla models with the exception of the first generation Roadster. Then you will get a welcome email from us with an invitation to go to this URL and create your SmartCharge Rewards account. So you'll create your SmartCharge Rewards account, choose a username and password you'd like to use for your SmartCharge Rewards account. And the first screen that you'll see is this one that says, please set up your vehicles for data access. And there will be an opportunity for you to enter in your myTesla username and password so that you can connect to your Tesla vehicle's telematics. An important point here, we won't store your Tesla username and password. We use them one time to generate an access token that we can use to access the information through Tesla's API, and then we discard them. We don't store your Tesla username and password anywhere in our system. All right, and once you're connected, obviously, you can begin to earn rewards. I'll pass it back to Sherry.
Okay, so there are 4 different types of rewards you could earn for charging in the Con Edison service territory. The first is your getting started reward. You earn $150 the first time you charge in our service territory. Then there's the monthly rewards. You earn $5 per month for continuing to charge in the Con Edison service territory. Then there's the summer peak rewards. These rewards are earned $20 per month when you avoid charging during what we could consider our summer peak hours. That's weekdays, Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. That's June through September. And that's the time of the day when demand for electricity is the highest on the Con Ed grid, the time when everybody's blasting their air conditioner in the middle of the summer. That's when we really want to incentivize you not to charge. And then there's the off-peak charging rewards. And that reward, you earn 10 cents per kilowatt hour for all your charging during off-peak hours. That's every day between midnight and 8 a.m. And that's where most Tesla owners earn the majority of their rewards with the off-peak charging rewards. Now, you could learn how much you could charge with our SmartCharge New York calculator. So if you go onto our SmartCharge New York website, you'll find a calculator. And so for instance, if you are a Tesla Model Y owner, and say you do a lot of driving, say you drive 100 miles a day round trip to work 5 days a week, and you drive roughly $500 a week, you have the ability, if you do all your charging during off-peak hours in the Con Edison service territory, you could earn over $1,000 in your first year. And that includes if you activate your account within a week of applying, you'll be earning an additional $25 bonus. We have an annual survey. If you participate in that, you'll get an extra $25. And if you refer a friend to the program, your friend gets $25 and you will get $25. So if you do all that, you do all your charging within the Con Edison service territory during off-peak hours, that's over $1,000 a year. I would say we have a handful of Tesla owners that earn this. Probably the average Tesla owner earns about $500–600 a year on the program, and that's over and above the $150 for getting started. So you know, that's a good amount of change. So I'm going to hand this over back to Kevin, and Kevin's going to give us a little demo of the portal.
Sure. I was just toggling on and off this button here, saying like if I did all of my charging, you know, on the on-peak times or the regular afternoons and the mornings, I would earn a lot less than if I did all of my charging off-peak. So it's really interesting to play with things like that and like how much you drive. You may find that calculator helpful to find out how much you personally might own or might earn. I will just launch up an example portal. So this is what a participant might see in the program. And the one that I'm launching up is an actual SmartCharge New York participants portal that we have gotten permission from that participant to share with you today. I am waiting for a spinning wheel right now. But as soon as that pops up, I will walk you through what you will see when you have an active SmartCharge Rewards account.
Okay, it's just something to point out that actually,
while that's loading,
while this is loading, this is actually something that I wanted to share with you. The way we pay out our rewards are through monthly payments using PayPal. So PayPal is the default method of payment that you get every month. So on the 15th of every month, you will get a deposit in your PayPal account for the rewards that you earned the previous month. If for some reason PayPal is not your cup of tea, there is an option to get paid out in annual Amazon promo codes. So every February, if that's the way you choose to get paid out your rewards, you will get an email to your the email that you that's associated with your SmartCharge Rewards account, and that's annually. For commercial fleets, you don't have to get paid out in PayPal or Amazon. You get either electronic payment or a check. So it makes earning rewards, very seamless. You don't need to do anything. It just, comes into your account. And again, no credits on the bill. Okay, Kevin, are you?
We're ready.
Are you up and running? Okay, great.
Okay, so let's look at this example portal from a SmartCharge New York participant. So the main page is the dashboard page, and this is where you'll see your charging stats. So it's broken down by day. So you could see, scroll back a few months, you can see your charging history, and you can see the amount of energy you put into your vehicle every single day of that month, and the time period that it falls into. So the green is where Con Edison wants you to be charging. That's off-peak times, midnight to 8 a.m. And so you can see this user's done the majority of their charging during the off-peak times. Summer peak times, as Sherry mentioned, is 2 to 6 p.m. During June to September. And that's where Con Ed does not want you to be charging. So you'll see how much charging you've done in that time. And then all other times, if it doesn't fit into either of those two categories, all other times are shown in orange. So you can see all of your charging behavior broken down by those kind of time periods. You can check out the total energy that you've consumed, the total energy you consumed within Con Ed service territory. And that's the thing that's relevant for you in terms of earning rewards is, whether the energy consumed within the Con Ed service territory. We also have some other interesting things. This participant happens to be using one of our telematics devices. So we get a little bit of extra information that we can share, including the amount of greenhouse gas savings that they've done based on the amount of miles they've traveled with their electric car. And so we compare that to the amount of greenhouse gases that would have been emitted in a standard internal combustion engine vehicle and calculate the difference. So you can see how much greenhouse gas you personally have been responsible for reducing by driving your electric vehicle, your fuel efficiency equivalent. Now, some of these metrics are only available if you're using a Geotab telematics device. They're not yet available if you're using Tesla API, but we do plan to make some of these more advanced metrics available to people who join with the Tesla API. And down here, you can see where you can download your trip logs, which is basically a record of all of the trips you've taken, the duration of them, start, stop time, and beginning and end state of charge if you want a record of all of your driving behavior for that month. So that's your dashboard. Your rewards tab is where we show you the rewards that you've earned on a monthly basis. So you can see for this particular month, this person has earned 70,000 reward points. So 1,000 reward points is equivalent to $1. So $70.45 is what this person has earned during that month. It shows when the PayPal payment is scheduled to be sent. In this case, it was sent on September 15th. Badges earned, I'll get to that in a moment. And then it breaks down the rewards earned by reward type. So they could earn some off-peak charging rewards, the $5 monthly participation reward, the $20 monthly summer peak avoidance reward, and that adds up to their total. Badges. This is just something fun that we provide for kind of an element of gamification and social sharing. So you can see a tree planter badge would means that you've met the minimum threshold for greenhouse gas savings that the utility has defined. So for Con Edison's program, I think that's 40 kilograms of greenhouse gas saved. So if you personally save 40 kilograms of greenhouse gas, you get the tree planter badge. And if you're proud of that, you can share it via social media and let your friends know. Some of the other fun ones are like peak streaker. I think it's just like if you avoid the peak times for 3 months in a row, you get a peak streaker badge. And there are some other fun ones that are that you can share if you'd like. The settings page is an important one for people that want to administer their own account and change what's going on with their own account. So you can see the email address. That's important because the email address associated with your account is where we send your rewards payments. So you should have a PayPal account associated with that email address. And if you don't, you can change that email address here to make sure that that is the email address that you want your reward payments to be sent to. Over here is the refer a friend section. Has a little link to how referrals work. The short story of that is if you copy this URL and share it with a friend of yours, you will get $25 when they enroll in the program, and they will get $25 when they enroll in the program because you've shared with them this unique link with your unique referral code included in it. Down here is the serial numbers of the telematics devices that you have active and the vehicles that you currently have active in the program. So if, say, you already have one Tesla vehicle active in the program, but you want to add another, if you hit this button, it'll encourage you to reconnect to your myTesla account and select your second or third Tesla vehicle that you want to add to the program. If you have, if you want to add another vehicle model, say you have a different model of electric vehicle that you also want to add to the program, you can email support@SmartCharge Rewards. We'll send you one of those telematics devices, and you will go over here to activate that telematics device that you can use in your different model of electric vehicle. That's what I wanted to show you about the portal. And of course, if there are specific questions about how any of it works, we'll have time for that in a few minutes. Some more badges. There you go.
Okay. So at this time, I'd like to introduce two Tesla Owner Club of New York members. First member, Victor DeSantis. He's a Tesla Model S owner from the Bronx, and Victor is going to tell you, what he likes about, what he loves about SmartCharge New York and his experience with the program, and then we'll have Servilis Billy also give his testimonial about the program after, and he's a Tesla Model S owner from Brooklyn. So Victor.
How you doing? So I'm Victor DeSantis. I own a Model S since August of 2019. And I was introduced to the program by Billy, previous owner since he was probably Tesla owner since 13. And he introduced me to it, and it's been just, earning money for me ever since I've been in the program. Also, I mostly do all my charging at home. In my garage, and I charge from midnight to about 7 a.m. And so I just see the rewards coming back every month. Just basically, I'm averaging about, on a good month, in like August, for example, I did like almost $60 in rewards. PayPal, of course. And basically, that's what we do. We would just collecting money every month for charging that off-peak hours.
Okay, thank you, Victor. Billy, would you like to say a few words?
Yeah, how you doing? Hey, my name is Servilis Billy. I'm from Brooklyn. I've been a Tesla owner since I think 2015 or so. I started off with a Nissan Leaf. Struggle that was, but we've moved up and on ever since. Yes, I absolutely encourage Victor to get a Tesla, and he did. I introduced him to SmartCharge, and we've been in a friendly competition to see who could recruit the most people ever since, and that's ongoing. The thing that I love the most, of course, is we get paid to charge your car so we could drive. Can you imagine that? It's like, will Exxon pay you to put gas in your car? Probably not, but that's what we're doing right here, right now. And that's, to me, that's the greatest thing. So far this year, I've earned about a little over $700. On the average year, I think I've been doing about $1,000. I charge at home, almost religiously at the Brooklyn Museum Supercharger in the morning before I go to work. I must hit that about once or twice a week. And the rest of the time I charge at work. I have my alarm set so that it tells me when 8 o'clock shows up, I do not go over. No going over 8, I don't get paid after 8, so no going over 8. And it's been a pleasure to work with the team, Sherry, Kevin, Cheryl. They've been great, and the people on the phone who has helped me when I had a problem, they've been excellent, and it's just a great program.
Well, thank you, Billy. Okay.
I just want to say something. This is Cheryl. I don't know, I guess you can see me. Hopefully you can see me.
Yes,
So I've been a member of SmartCharge New York for about a year. And what I love about the program is it's seamless. I made a few changes to when I charge my car, and I just watch the money come into our PayPal. I set the timer on the EV to only charge between midnight and 8, as Civilis had said, and it makes it easy to get the $20 reward in the summer for not charging during the super peak. And it's a wonderful program. I referred one person. So these guys have made a few more referrals than me, but I'm gonna try to catch up.
Welcome to the competition.
Yeah, and something, I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, but for every 5 referrals to the program, you get to earn an additional $25, and you become what we call a SmartCharge New York ambassador. So, you know, we really provide incentives to spread the word as much as possible to your friends and family who own electric vehicles. So I guess at this time, we'd like to open up the floor to questions and answer some of the questions in the chat. Stephen, do you want to?
Sure. All right, so the first question is, do you have to start and stop between midnight and 8 a.m. only?
No, you do. You could charge anytime you want. However, if you want to earn the 10 cents a kilowatt hour for all your charging, you would want to limit your charging between midnight and 8. But nothing's going to happen to you if you continue charging after 8 or you start charging before, other than you won't earn the 10 cents. And if you do any charging between 2 to 6 p.m. During the summer months, weekdays, you won't earn the $20. But besides that, you know, we don't prevent you from charging. So if you need to charge, you go ahead and charge.
Perfect. Just a reminder, if you want to ask a question out loud, Ryan is going to be the first one here. But if you want to ask a question out loud, go ahead and use the raise hand icon. If you're on a desktop, there should be a little icon in the bottom, I believe. And if you're on mobile, there should be something with the 3 dots. And from there, you should be able to do the raise hand icon. And Ryan, go ahead and unmute your microphone and you can ask your question.
Hey, good evening, guys, and thank you for holding this Zoom meeting. My question is there a way to see who your referrals are? I've received a few referral bonuses, but I don't know who they were.
No, that's not something that we generally share. I mean, we know who your referrals are, but that's not something that we would typically share with our participants.
I will say, if you're really, really interested in it, if the SmartCharge Rewards support team will be able to look it up for you if you're really, really interested in it. But it isn't available in your portal when you look at it.
All right, next question is, do you have to be in the Con Edison territory to get rewards, or can I do this in the Finger Lakes region? And Sherry, I think you addressed that, but if you want to go over that a little bit more. This is something that shocked me.
So SmartCharge New York is a Con Edison program. So you could only earn SmartCharge New York rewards by charging in the Con Edison service territory. There are other utilities that have not the exact same program, but similar programs that do use Geotab as their provider for their programs. I know National Grid uses Geotab. Geotab has a program there, I think in Rhode Island and Massachusetts. I don't believe it extends into New York. And in those programs, they don't earn as many rewards as much. Their rewards are less. I think we pay the most, 10 cents a kilowatt hour. I think maybe they pay 2-3 cents a kilowatt hour, or maybe 4 cents a kilowatt hour. So this particular program is just for charging in our service territory.
And do you need to plug in the device? Does the Model S have an input for the device?
I'll handle that one. So the Model S does have an input for a Geotab telematics device. There's a proprietary diagnostics connector, and we'll give you in that vehicle, and we'll give you an adapter cable and a device if you'd want to connect it. I would say if you're joining the program for the first time and you don't already have a device that you own that we've already sent you, our preference and Con Ed's preference would be for you to join in a deviceless manner by connecting your Tesla account.
That's not a question, but Brian Pankey noted that you're allowed to export the drives as a CSV file, which is something pretty cool. If you're a data person, pretty nice to have that. All right. Are there any benefits for those that don't charge during the off-peak hours?
Yeah, so there's a minimum a minimum reward you would get every month. That's $5. So if you are unable to do any of your charging during the off-peak hours, say the only charging that you have access to is at work, and you're not at work between midnight and 8, and you just charge during the day, you will earn the $5 a month, assuming it's in the Con Edison service territory. So that's a minimum.
This is a pretty cool note. This is Brian sent to me. Brian sent this to me privately, but I have to share. It's just too cool. So he's been using the program for a very long time and has been paid a little over $2,000 since he's been enrolled. That is pretty amazing.
Wow. Congratulations.
Do you only have the PayPal, the Amazon, and I don't know if you went over Fleet in detail, but can you use something like Venmo, or does it have to be the ones that you listed?
Kevin, do you want to?
Sure. Those are the options that we have available for right now. If you're a standard residential participant, you basically have the choice between PayPal and Amazon. And if you're a commercial fleet, you'll get paid differently. Right now, those are the options that we have on the table. We are definitely open to feedback around payment options. I think that if there is a lot that we're hearing from participants that they would prefer a different option, I think that we're open to receiving that feedback, and it may become a part of the platform in the future. But for right now, the two options are Amazon and PayPal.
So if
and just so you know, I'm sorry.
Are you fine? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna comment that we have this annual survey, and it's coming up in November. We do it like usually the first few weeks of November. We administer the survey, and that would be a good time if you have anything that you'd like to share with us, any improvements. I mean, you could share with us during this webinar, but the annual survey is a great time to give suggestions, and all those suggestions, comments are shared with Geotab, and they're considered, in their future iteration of their products and our programs. And we've had a great response rate. We've been doing this annual survey since 2017, and we get close to an 80% participation rate in the survey. It probably helps that we pay participants $25 to take the survey, but nevertheless, we get a great response rate, and we have a tremendous satisfaction rate that we've received.
So here's a great question. If you go to a supercharger located in Con Ed's territory and you charge between 2 and 6 p.m. in the summer, do you lose the $20 for that month?
Yes. It's not that you lose it, you just don't earn it. So I guess it's a little bit of semantics. This is not like part of your bill. So we're not taking anything away from you. We're just not giving you those rewards. And we've had situations where people have taken their Tesla to a Tesla service center, and I guess Tesla likes to provide excellent customer service. And generally, at the end of the day, when people are ready to pick up, which would normally be between 2 and 6, they, give the vehicle over with a full charge, and then people come to us and say, "Oh no, I didn't charge it. It was Tesla that charged it. Can we have our $20 back?" So we're usually sympathetic if it happens like just a one-off, but we really the purpose of that reward is to just never charge during that time to earn that monthly reward.
That's funny. All right.
Yeah.
So will they ever offer rewards to bill? How does rewards affect retired people? Priest, if you want to maybe, if you want to unmute, if you're okay with that, I'm just not sure. Unless Sherry, do you understand rewards to bill?
Okay. They said that you can't pay your it doesn't go to your Con Ed bill. Are they ever going to have it where the Con Ed the rewards can be put towards a bill?
Right. So that is something that we have a lot of participants asking for. I think it's the preference for a lot of people. At this point in time, we cannot do that. Our Con Edison customer information system is rather antiquated at this point in time, and that system doesn't allow us to do bill credits. However, in 2023, our customer information system, which does the billing, is going to be upgraded. And at that point in time, we might be able to do bill credits.
All right, thank you.
But until then, it's going to be PayPal and Amazon. And one of the advantages of PayPal and Amazon, and not just a bill credit, is that if you're not a Con Ed customer, that you don't have a Con Ed bill, if the only option was a credit, then we wouldn't be able to enroll you in the program. But hopefully, in the future, we'll have that flexibility.
I mean, as a choice. Okay, thank you.
All right, Wes, I think this one went ahead and answered your question too. Why PayPal, not just credit directly to Con Ed? So I think that answered that one. John, I could probably go ahead and answer this question for you. So do I really have to wait up and stay awake until midnight every single night to pull my car for off-peak charging? So if you have a Tesla, I'm not sure if you have a Tesla or if you have a Nero or Kona, but I'm 100% sure with Teslas, you are able to schedule charging. If you're somewhat recent Tesla owner, you could join one of our workshops. We talk about this kind of stuff and do our best to answer questions on there. But with a Tesla, you can set it to schedule at certain hours. So from every every day from 12 a.m. to 8 a.m. you could have it set to schedule for charging. So that way you don't have to go in, plug it in, and get out of. There's a couple of different chargers out there. I believe ChargePoint also allows you to do scheduled charging with their chargers. But if it's just the one that comes with your vehicle and your car itself doesn't have the capability, you won't be able to do that.
I'll also say that on our FAQ site, that the URL's up on the screen right now, there is a link to how to schedule charging for a number of different vehicle models, Teslas and Fords and VWs and others. So if you're interested in linking to the manufacturer's information on how to schedule charging, you can get there through our FAQ site.
Yeah, and one thing to keep in mind, you could schedule it within a certain time period, but you could also schedule it to say every day you need to leave by 6 a.m. for work. You could have it scheduled to have a full charge by a certain time. So that means, if you have an empty battery, it might start, at midnight, but if you have, a nearly full battery, and it might start at 5. And that actually is something that's preferable in terms of the health of the electric grid, because what we don't want to happen is if everybody was in SmartCharge, that means, and everybody set their delayed charging to start charging at midnight, we would end up having potentially a new peak. So the better way to schedule your charging that protects the health of the grid would be to schedule, when you want to have your vehicle charged by. And so that is an option on the Tesla app.
So do you still get the extra rewards, sign-on bonus, etc., even if you connect the Tesla via API? And if so, how soon should you see the rewards added to the account?
Yeah, so whether you sign up with an API or if you have a different vehicle that you get a connected car device, either a C2 or a Go9, either way, you earn the $150. And all the rewards are paid out the month after the rewards are earned. So say you activate your account on October 20th, you would get those rewards the following month on November 15th. Rewards are always paid out on the 15th of every month. If the 15th falls on a weekend or a holiday, it would be the day after, but generally it's the 15th of the month.
So Cheryl, this one's for you. This is from Nelson. Does anyone want to share the referral code? So that one's for you, unless someone already got back to Nelson. So who besides Con Ed has the GPS information? And I think, Kevin, you probably went over this, or...
Oh yeah, Con Ed does not have GPS information for your trips. So I did go to that. Con Ed has GPS information for your charging. Who besides Con Ed has it? Geotab has it. And Geotab has very thorough privacy policies, which you can get to through the FAQ link again. If there's a question about privacy policies, you can read Geotab's privacy policies and Con Ed's privacy policy there. But being the world's largest telematics provider, we really pride ourselves on protecting the information of the participants in our programs and of for all of our clients, and which includes some of the biggest corporations in the world that are very sensitive about data privacy. So Geotab does have GPS information. We keep it under tight wraps.
And then there's a follow-up to that, which is, does anyone that has the GPS info sell that information?
Definitely not.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Con Ed does not sell any information. We have been approached by companies. We probably have the largest data set in the country in terms of the number of vehicles. I don't think there's any other program or organization that has besides Geotab itself that has this. And we have we will not be selling any data to anyone. And if we were to do that, which would it would always be anonymized. So we would never share anonymized data with anybody. One other thing I wanted to just point out, that the Tesla Owners Club of New York State has a promo code that you could use if you sign up for SmartCharge New York to also get the $25. That's TOCNYS 25, Tesla Owners Club of New York 25. And you could use that to get an additional $25 over and above the $150 if you haven't signed up yet. But I'm sure Cheryl or Victor or Billy would rather you have them use their referral codes.
By all means, go ahead and use theirs. All right, this one is, what about New Jersey? And I'm thinking that must mean as far as how the program goes.
Yeah, New Jersey, that's most of New Jersey is PSE&G. Part of New Jersey gets served by Orange and Rockland. Orange and Rockland is owned by, it's a Con Ed company, but Orange and Rockland and PSE&G do not have a SmartCharge New Jersey program where you earn rewards for off-peak charging. In the future, O&R might. And I know PSE&G PSE&G New Jersey and PSC Long Island both had considered doing a program like this, but at this point in time, they do not have a similar program.
Can you go over a little bit more about charging points? What does that mean?
Kevin, do you want to talk about points, or should I?
Charging points? Well, points is just a term that we use to calculate your rewards. And the only thing you need to know is that if you see in your dashboard your rewards tallied by points, that 1 point is equivalent, or 1,000 points is equivalent to $1. Really, points is a made-up term that we use to show you the rewards that you've earned. Some programs convert them to different types of rewards. Con Edison converts them to dollars, and what you need to know is that 1,000 reward points is equal to $1.
Right, so I think this was a question on clarity coming over here. So my question was really whether you can get partial rewards. So if you were to start charging at 10 p.m. and end at 10 a.m., do you get rewards for the charging that takes place between midnight and 8 a.m.?
Yes. Yes. So you don't have to restrict your charging to midnight to 8 a.m. Any portion of your charging that falls within the midnight to 8 a.m. will earn the 10 cents per kilowatt hour.
Does this use up the car battery in any way?
There is a very small, if you have installed one of our telematics devices, there is a very small draw on the order of like 10 milliamps. I think is what it is. If you left it in a standard 12-volt battery, might drain the battery over the course of 3 or 4 months. If you hadn't driven a vehicle in 3 or 4 months, you might have trouble starting it. That is relevant information for people who are driving non-Tesla models, because we are accepting all new Tesla applicants using the Tesla onboard telematics, so there's no extra device to plug in. But if you happen to also have a Leaf or a Bolt or a Nero, and you want to install one of our telematics devices, you should know that if you leave the vehicle idle for months at a time, we do recommend you unplugging the device. It will take months to drain the battery, though.
So what if you're already enrolled with a device and now you want to use the Tesla app?
This looks like a hot potato. I'm looking to share you guys. Currently, we don't support switching device types based on participant preference. So if you already have a device that's active and working, we don't support you changing to using the Tesla app or the Tesla account to collect data. And the reasons for that are kind of complicated and a little bit too long for us to go into today. But you should know that at this point in time, we don't. But if you email our support address and let them know that you are interested in it in the future, we will get back to you when we eventually do support switching device types, and we hope to eventually support switching device types.
Would you happen to know if there's an app in the works?
A mobile app?
Yep.
I do know that. And I will also say the answer is yes, definitely, eventually. But I cannot commit to a specific date at this point.
All right. Can you take this survey if you're not in the program to get the $25?
No, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the way you earn the reward, the way we pay out the $25 is through the SmartCharge Rewards. So there's no way for us to actually pay you to take the survey without having a SmartCharge New York account.
Okay. So this is a question from Todd. He says, how do you set up using the Tesla app? From what I can tell you, you're not actually using the app at all, just the credentials, correct?
That's correct. But we're collecting the data in the same way that your Tesla mobile app will collect the data. It's really basically through the same channels. So in order for data to flow into SmartCharge Rewards, you do have to go into your vehicle settings and enable mobile access. So if you have that turned off for your vehicle settings for some reason, if you don't like sending data to the Tesla app, you also won't be able to send data to SmartCharge Rewards. So that's a important point, that like if you for some reason have mobile access turned off on your vehicle settings, you will need to turn it on in order to beam your data into SmartCharge Rewards.
It looks like we have people signing up for the program right now. So on the SmartCharge initial application, I'm stuck on this question. How do I answer this? Are you on a Con Edison residential time of use TOU rate?
So again, the question is?
So the question that I guess is on the application, it says, are you on a Con Edison residential time of use rate?
Okay, so Con Edison has a special rate for residential customers where you could potentially save money if you do a lot of not just your vehicle charging, but if you use your electricity in your home during off-peak hours. And the definition of off-peak hours for our time of use customers is exactly the same as SmartCharge. So if you are interested in being on a time of use rate where you pay less for electricity usage during off-peak hours, but more during on-peak hours, you could sign up for this rate. And for electric vehicle owners, we give a 1-year price guarantee. So if you switch your house over to this rate and you end up spending more on the time of use rate, on the flat rate, we'll reimburse you the difference. After you're off that price guarantee, if you continue being on this residential time of use rate, you will no longer earn 10 cents a kilowatt hour on the SmartCharge program. We actually have an alternative incentive structure for people on this residential time of use rate. So instead of getting 10 cents a kilowatt hour, you would get 1.7 cents a kilowatt hour. And you would still get the $5 a month. You would still get the $20 a month during the summer for avoiding summer peak. You would have the opportunity to earn additional $10 a month October through May if you avoid charging 2 to 6. But for many Tesla owners, losing that going down from 10 cents a kilowatt hour to 1.6 cents a kilowatt hour or 7 cents a kilowatt hour, that could be a substantial loss. But depending on how much you save being on the time of use rate, it might be worth the difference. But so that's where the question comes in, that we kind of want to know, are you on this rate? Because one thing that we don't do when you fill out your application, we do not ask you for your Con Ed account number. We don't want to have people having to, look up their Con Ed account number in order to apply, because most people don't have that number in their head, and not everyone has a Con Ed account. So sorry for that long answer, but that's why we have the question. So most people will answer no, I'm not on the time of use rate.
John, I'm going to guess
Kevin,
that you're probably
Kevin,
not on it. Yeah.
Kevin, do you want to go to the next slide after this? Thank you.
Yeah, so this is what the time of use rate is. If you're interested in the time of use rate, to switch your entire house on the time of use rate, you could get that information by going to coned.com/EVs, and there'll be information there, or coned.com EV rates, and you could learn more about our residential time of use rate. We also have an EV only rate, but that would require hiring an electrician to put in a separate meter pen and electric panel, which could be quite pricey. So typically the only people that go onto that EV only rate are people in multifamily dwellings. I noticed we're after 8. I am happy to stay on and continue answer questions, but if you need to drop off, we have an FAQ page on this slide. It shows you where to go for SmartCharge Rewards /SCNY/FAQ. Pretty much any question you have on the program, you could find there. You could also contact Geotab SmartCharge technical support, open Monday through Friday, 8 to 8. And also there's an email address, and then there's the phone number. And, if you contact support at smartchargerewards.com, there's a number of people that it could answer questions, including Kevin. Anything that's more Con Ed related rather than, program technical support, Cheryl and I could be reached at evprograms@coned.com, or if you really feel like you need to talk to me, I make myself available, and I have my phone number here if there's really any follow-up questions that you want to speak to me about. But I'm happy to stay on for a while longer for if anyone has additional questions. I'm not sure about Kevin and Cheryl, or so. And I want to thank Victor and Billy for joining us as well today.
Yeah, thank you all for joining. And like Sherry said, you're more than welcome to stay on. We'll keep going a little while longer. And if you need to hop off, by all means, hop off. All right, Victor, so you have your hand raised. Would you have to go and ask your question?
Yes. So
I think you just muted yourself.
I was wondering about that EV only rate for separate meter, and so I was wondering, how is that different from just the program itself charging off peak?
So
go ahead, Cheryl. You're the expert.
Thanks. So I, in addition to assisting in SmartCharge, I also manage the. Can you hear me?
Yes. I hear you now. Good.
Okay. In addition to assisting with SmartCharge New York, I also work on the EVTOU program. So I take people off the standard rate who are interested in switching to the time of use rate and manage their questions and signing them up for that. If you don't want to put your whole house on the time of use rate, you can, as Sherry mentioned, put an EV only meter in. Typically the price for an electrician is about $1,000. And this way you can keep your house on the standard rate, put your air conditioner up as you want to, and just charge off peak. And it works very well with having an EV only meter. So only the EV only meter would be on the time of use. You'd be charging off peak, and you'd get that lower rate for just charging your car.
Yeah, okay. We do have some people who have 2 Teslas. Typically, you need to be charging a lot on that meter in order for it to be worthwhile, just because chances are you're going to be paying quite a bit to have electrician install this extra meter pan.
If you have any specific questions on that, you can email me at evtou@coned.com.
So if you have free supercharging, so Sherry, I don't know if you know a bunch about this, but some of the earlier Teslas actually came with free unlimited supercharging for the lifetime of the vehicle, which is like the bargain of a century. So if you have the free supercharging for Tesla superchargers, do you still earn the 10 cents a kilowatt for off-peak charging?
If you're doing charging at that free Tesla supercharger between midnight and 8, absolutely. It does not matter. We don't care if it's at a supercharger. We don't care if you're charging at work and your employer gives you free charging, or you're charging at your neighbor's house or your friends or your grandmother's house or any public charger. It doesn't really matter. As long as it's in the Con Edison service territory, we will pay you the 10 cents.
I had a device installed but lost my link during a recent move. How do I re-sign to get access via the app? I'm not sure if Kevin's still in. He might have had to drop out.
I'm assuming they're asking about the SmartCharge Rewards portal.
Thinking so. Peter, if you want to unmute your microphone, you're welcome. Or if you want to rephrase it, I might be able to catch it on the bottom.
Because we don't have an app.
Okay. All right, we can go to move on to the next one. And Peter, if you want to rephrase that just so we can get it, you're more than welcome to do that. All right, let me go ahead and find the next question. Would it be worth getting into the program if you only charge in the Finger Lakes and Western New York and Central area?
No, you're not eligible to enroll in the program.
Once a month you have to be able to charge, right? To stay in the program.
Yeah, well, you won't earn, I mean, you could enroll through the, through the Tesla telematics, but you won't earn a penny because you have to be charging in the Con Edison service territory to earn rewards.
Gosh. All right, John is all signed up. You got another member for the program. All right. A lot of people, by the way, Sherry and Cheryl and Kevin, I don't know if you're still here, but a lot of people expressing gratitude for you hosting this and just doing your part to for sustainability. So thank you too on behalf of the club.
Oh, thank you.
If you lost your login credentials, if your device is no longer working, then definitely reach out to SmartCharge, the GeoTab directly, and they'll be able to help you either get a new device or help you with your login credentials.
Okay, Peter, I think that might have answered your question. If not, I guess it sounds like go ahead and send an email over to them. All right, I don't see any more in the chat. And then do you have the email address again, Sherry? If there's any other questions, can you go ahead and say that again?
It's support@smartchargerewards.com.
Yeah, I'll type it in, support@SmartCharge.
Okay, perfect. All right, so yeah, if there's any other questions, go ahead and reach out to there. If there's anything on the Tesla side of things, feel free to send me an email. I'll put mine in the chat as well. It's stephenp@tocnys.org. Just wanted to make sure I spelled it correctly.
And evprograms@coned.com. You could reach Cheryl and I.
Perfect. All right.
And if you have any other questions about any other Con Ed EV program, you could also email to evprograms@coned.com. Any EV question.
All right. Well, yeah. Thank you all for joining, for spending your Wednesday night, your evening, wherever we are right now. I definitely appreciate it, and Con Ed, thank you so much too for making this possible. Appreciate you as well. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for hosting, Stephen, and encourage everyone to enroll if you do charge in our service territory.
All right. Well, with that,
thank you.
Have a very good night, everyone. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody.